all right, let's go. Sorry about being late, guys. My daughter's always giving me surprises right at open, I swear to God. All right, how are we doing today? Hope everybody's having a good one. SPY's actually popping back. Right back towards $600. Let's see if it can use this as solid resistance this morning. $600 would be crucial to hold below for the bears today. Of course, the market rips up after that big gap down last night. Gotta love it. Israel is striking Iran. We can see all the headlines here. Launches Operation Rising Lion. Didn't know that was the exact name, but they are definitely striking them or struck them. So that's looking fun right now. Just 1 second. All right. Good morning, Steve. Thanks for joining up today. Appreciate you. Let's go, Steve. SPY popping off. I know Oklo is one that I'm still watching in the short term very closely. I was actually looking at ASTS a lot this morning in pre-market. My gosh, they are moving higher here at open. 37.50 breaking out. ASTS. Really good momentum. We know all about this one. AST Space Mobile. 7.37% though. What a good move. ASTS. Everything sound good today? Just want to make sure everything's all good. Good morning, Chaos. Sloshy, Chill, TJ, Hunter. Me under the, or Mr. Under the Sea. Jake, Robert, Cloud, Black Flower, Xavier, Toby. Ryan, Joshua, good morning, Brain. ACHR took a whacking, Jake said. Archer. Oh, they sure did. Pretty bad gap down all the way to $10, down 15% for Archer. That is nasty. Let me get that watch list up. They are at the very bottom. That's nice. Nice. Gotta like it. What's up, Mr. Wu? Yusu's Adventure. CVX up into the green. Chevron. Nice gap up by the oil stocks today. Look at crude oil. Coming back alive. Towards 73, 74 a barrel. Let's get bloody, Tangy Man says. Hey! No, I'm with you. I'd much rather prefer a pullback. Looks like SPY holding under 600 is looking good here. If it starts to rip above 600, I'm going to get a bit upset, as I definitely want to see the overall continuation to the downside. Looks like SPY so far today, though, has been holding up pretty well. That rejection, though, is pretty stiff. Very crucial level that SPY is sitting at here. Can LMT make a run? At least it's pointing up now. I think it could come back towards the high of the day. I'm not necessarily looking for a run. I love the daily setup, though. Look at that daily chart setup on the trend line here. Looking at the daily specifically, I definitely am leaning to the upside here, Mr. Wu. If you could swing it a little bit. Might not get the true breakout today, but I can see it gapping up or getting through this range soon. UMAC's moving up. UMAC. UMAC. Hang on 1 second, guys. I swear to God, my microphone, something's going on today. What the hell's happening here? Device is default. Maybe that's what it is. Hang on. All right. I'm so confused. I don't get it. Do I sound good today, at least? I don't get it. I swear, it's just like not as loud today. Sounds good? Okay. I can tell that the settings aren't right, so I don't know why the hell it changed, but if it's good, it's good. Tesla up to 318. Nice green movement coming back. It gapped down a lot this morning. Even fell a little bit in after hours last night, so they have a lot to make up for here. Tangy Man says it sounds like your mic gain is cranked all the way up. It's definitely not. It's definitely not. So that's a bit weird. Chill said SPY broke 600 SPY. If I really turned it up, I think you you would be surprised. You sound fine. It's the music that's too loud. SPY up to 600. Trying to break past it here. It's right on 600 right now. Just slightly above. Watch it end up getting through. This is going to be terrible. It's going to be rough. Rejected, Chill said. There we go. CRWV pulling back a little bit. SPY rejected. Little double top action. Lower high on the day. That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh boy. Yeah, I love it. You misread the comment? You sound fine. If the music is too loud, it's exhausting. I took that as the music can be loud sometimes. Is that wrong, Sloshy? Gotcha. I figured that you were saying that it is sometimes by that. KTOS is moving up. 3.27% on Kratos. Not bad. How's Archer doing? They have a lot coming up on the Bookmap. Lots of buyers stacked up at 950 and 975. They're trying to hold around this $10 mark with Archer. That was a nasty drop last night. There we go. AVAV. AeroVironment. Haven't ever heard of this one, Mr. Under the Sea. 3.87%. Really good price action today. Looking at the daily chart of AVAV. Sitting right around 200 a share. It's going to be contending with a big resistance here. Oklo? You want to see an Oklo BM? Look at that, the 5-minute Oklo is bouncing off 60, coming back a little bit. Here you go. Not a lot overhead. Yeah, really, not a lot overhead at all. Palantir doesn't give an F. Palantir might make a new all-time high. That's pretty funny. Yeah, they really don't. They really don't. You're right. SPY does. SPY's having some problems at resistance today, but Palantir, man, just continues to show its strength. Alex Karp swimming upstream. Coming up on 137 here. ASTS just hit 10%. Running up quite well today also since open. Very nice candles compared to many other stocks today. It does kind of seem that way, Jason. I'm not saying that, but not a lot there. Apple is heading to the downside. Oh man, under 200. They rejected at $200 today. Kind of nasty. That's going to put some downside pressure on the SPY for sure. Gross. Let's look at that Mag 7 setup. Apple pulling down hard out of everything. The rest was doing quite well today. Let's go, SPY. News in 15 minutes, Tiger asked. I don't think so. Oh, no, it does. The consumer sentiment. It was 10 a.m. Gotcha. 10 a.m. today. My time was messed up with the consumer sentiment data. Let's see how that comes in. That could end up moving the market a little bit there. I expect a little bit. Is Trump speaking today, Tiger asks. Sometimes I see Trump will just randomly start talking. Let's look at the real roll call, though. I'm not seeing much for today. At 11 a.m., he's going to be attending a National Security Council meeting. 9 a.m. is in-town pool call time. That National Security Council meeting, it has closed press, it says, is at 11 a.m. Check CoreWeave, CRWV, ripping, 148.50. 150 might be pushing here on CoreWeave. Love to see that. Palantir with some great action as well, up to 138 now, continuing very well on the run. The magic carpet. That was a good one, Brain. Robert, I appreciate that, sir. Made a good profit from ZOM, Gold, and FFAI this morning. Thank you, Robert. Can I get your opinion on swinging ZOM and GLD into next week? As always, stay blessed. Let's go. Appreciate you, Robert. Get your opinion on ZOM and Gold swings into next week for sure. Looking at ZOM into next week, it's actually roaring way back to life. I do expect some volatility with crude oil. Here's the one worry I have, Robert, with swinging oil over the weekend. If Iran starts to come to the negotiating table, that could be something that makes oil drop a bit, as it's been ripping up in anticipation of tensions getting worse. If we do see, let's just say a random news article or a random event pop up that they want to negotiate, that could be something that sends oil down slightly in the short term. Looking at ZOM, though, overall, I think you're in a pretty solid position for a swing, especially if you use some of these recent supports as like a good stop area. I would say in the ultra short term, looking at this trend line is a very good way to go. You know, we've seen a lot of good reactions off of this trend line. If you start to see a pullback under the trend line, maybe that's where you'd look to cut. If it does pull back, hopefully it bounces off the trend and right back up. Like what we saw a lot over here, where we saw a lot of bounces off of the trend on those pullbacks. Even more specifically, look like right here. Kind of like what I'm looking for here would be like a touch of the trend and hold for you back to the upside. But the risk reward's pretty good, and the overall direction right now is definitely in your favor, so I like it. Same thing goes with gold, with the possibility of something happening, but it looks like gold is probably going to be pushing out to new all-time highs, given the way that it's moving right now. I could see it continuing up in a trend almost like this, if not even like this, over the next few trading days. Of course, gold has a lot of gaps, so it's definitely one that I would swing. It's a little high intraday. You could maybe wait for a better entry at some point today, but I do think like heading into next week, gold will still be up as long as, you know, they don't come to negotiate. Bookmap on the SPY, sure, Robert. Let's see. I don't think it's going to show a ton, but let's see. Little bit of buyers at 598.50. 598 is a pretty good support in general, so not bad to see some buyers stacked up there. Now they just exited though, so kind of weird. Now they just closed their position. Now they're getting back in. Yeah, look at this yellow line right here. It's funny. It keeps shifting in and out, in and out. See how they have the order in, then they close it. You'll see it do it again probably. Let's see. Oh, they're not doing it now. There we go. There it is again. Look at it come back in. It's kind of funny. And then it leaves again. Very strange. Yeah, you can see that. It's pretty weird. Go back to the SPY real quick. It really likes this area of support. It's a good area from pre-market too. I'm not saying it's going to go run through 600 or anything, but it's definitely reacting pretty well here so far. It's a good area of support. First big one coming up on the day. Pull up Palantir really quick on the Bookmap. Where are you, Palantir? No shot I deleted Palantir. Yeah, I did. What the hell? $292,000 shares at 140 on Palantir. Almost 300,000 shares there at 140. Going to be a tough level for it to hold. For it to break through, I guess I should say. Starting to turn over ever so slightly here. SPY's definitely getting down under 599 now. Broke through that intraday support there from pre-market. Wow. Very nice action. SQQQ, SPXS looking pretty good off their lows of the day. As the SPY rejects, these are going to be interesting. Same with the NASDAQ, of course. Draw a little intraday trend line here. Something like this. Definitely like that support down there around 598, which is coming up here in about 30 cents. Hack said, I thought the market was going to go down today, but I guess not. It's pretty down overall. Maybe down from open is more of what you mean. Now, it still could fall. You know, keep that in mind, Hack. I would say it's only just a slight recovery today. This could end up being what people like to call a dead cat bounce. As in, what a dead cat bounce is, we see a slight move up and then a drop off coming after that bounce. Really good to see 600 holding as resistance, though, if you're bearish today. I think that there's definitely opportunities entering puts on resistance. Make sure you guys check out the posts that we put out. I'm Trading Stream Limited every morning. Put out some posts with like the SPY, do a whole entire rundown on it. Same thing in the pullbacks channel and the high risk breakouts channel for trading floor members. Post them up in there every morning. Pretty much looking for a $600 hit. Ended up perfect today. Good morning, Hugh. Hack says, should I exit my core weave? It is right up to resistance. I don't think it's a bad time to start to look to exit. Myself. Not sure what exactly you're in again. That would help, but... maybe Elon didn't apologize hard enough to Trump. Looking at Tesla today, it's down 0.65%. Definitely looking for it to drop off a little bit more today. Here goes SPY back down towards 598. Now, as it gets down towards support, be careful. It'll probably have some type of reaction back up off of support here, okay? If we do start to see a big flush, you could maybe try to ride the wave down, but just be aware, SPY is coming up to support. Much better to enter the puts around resistances rather than trying to like enter right now, as it would be at a spot where it could potentially bounce. Support's right around 598 to 597.50. It's like a little 50-cent range there. That's the first one coming up. Below there, I see like 595.50, 596, and then 594. That low from pre-market today at 594 is pretty critical. Shows that that's a pretty big spot. Perfect touch. Yep, 1 minute and we get Michigan consumer sentiment data coming out. It may or may not move the market. We'll see. It is right at support, though, right as this data is coming out. $5.98 support. All right, Michigan consumer sentiment has released. Big green candle on the SPY. Wow. The initial candle was nice. Consumer sentiment reported at 60.5. Wow. That's much better than expected. That's awesome, coming at 60.5. That's great. That's really good sentiment there. Great sentiment data. We'll see if it can get the SPY really moving or not. I'm not so sure that the SPY is going to just totally react and run off of this, but pretty nice so far for it. 60.5 versus a consensus of 53.5. I'm going to go to the SPY real quick and grab a drink of water. Drinking the high quality H2O today. What do you guys got? I'm drinking that Walmart water. SPY's really trying to hold this ground, though. Not the best reaction so far. Like I said, this does not mean that the SPY has to pop today, but it's definitely good data to see sentiment picking up in general. QQQ 530 reaction and hit. Watch SQQQ. We could start to see some fun opportunities today if we do see more selling ensue. Going to the news here, looking for some headlines. Nothing too crazy. Israeli ambassador to the U.S. says that Iran's Fordow nuclear facility must be eliminated. Yeah, the Walmart water. Love it, Steve. Great value. I only drink bottled water, really. SPY action, 598, still holding up. Let's go to Tessie. Holding at 316, okay. Holding pre-market support. Nvidia, actually holding its ground pretty well. Mag 7 overall is pretty strong besides Apple. Of course, Apple is the one big negative there, but the rest is actually not too bad today. Good recoveries from open anyhow. Really, Costco water. I'll have to go try that. Well, so Kirkland, right? Huncho stocked it up all night. Oh no. That's funny. Did you actually, like, test it, Steve, or just, like, taste? The best water is from a garden hose, Sloshy says. It did seem as a kid that the garden hose tasted awfully good, didn't it? Where the support on Boeing? They just fell through $200. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Support from yesterday, right around 197, even 195.50 at the low of pre-market yesterday. Kind of weird on that drop, but I really like 190 below this range. 190 would be pretty critical. I could see it touching 190 pretty easily, too. Pretty easily. Maybe not today, but over the next couple trading days. Hopefully today, though. We would take it. Restoration Hardware, RH. Is it possible to still link Thinkorswim to TradingView? No, I don't think you can, Braden. I didn't think that you ever could. Maybe I'm wrong. I know you can do interactive brokers and TradeStation, I believe. Let me pull it up here. TradeStation, Webull does it. Oh, I forgot about that one. Interactive brokers. Yeah, they don't do it. Maybe I go to all brokers. Maybe it's under here. Oh, wow, they have quite a bit, but yeah, no Thinkorswim or no Schwab, I don't think. Ninja Trader, that's funny. Black Flower said, where are we going, Palantir? Where are we going? Probably a test of the high of the day again at some point. Gonna be watching it for a potential dip buy here as it drops down. It doesn't look the best right now, though. I don't love the setup. I like NVIDIA's setup for a dip buy better than I like Palantir's, but neither are very good right now. ORCL is still popping off. Oracle. Pretty good action, 3.5%. That's quite the move. What a rip. $200 broke by a lot today. Clear extension up and out of there. Wow. Larry Ellison going for the top billionaire spot. Larry. What does the list look like now? Let's see. Oh. They made 4.9 billion today. Jensen's losing. Let's see. So he's about 150 million away from Musk. Okay. But he's old. He's 80. Uh-oh. I still want to see Zucky fight Elon. I still want to see that happen. I'll be honest. Now that I see Elon talk a lot more and stuff, I kind of think that Zuckerberg would take him now. I do. You know who would take both of them, though, is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett would kick their ass. He would take McDonald's and shove it down their throat and win. Make them tap. He'll sit on them. Larry Page with Google. I didn't realize that guy was that rich. Zuck works out? Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if you knew this, but Elon apparently said that he was a black belt. Like, he actually had a lot of training in the past and stuff from what I'd seen. Not that it totally matters, but I know that he was into it a lot too. I know Zuckerberg was into it a lot more recently, though. Still makes me sad that didn't happen, though, honestly. That would have been a spectacle for the ages, if we're being honest. Oracle either way, 3.35%. Nice action today. SPY still selling off. Uh-oh. The consumer sentiment data had us bouncing around 598. Now it's starting to sell through there a little bit. Oracle does it again, though. That's pretty funny. It really killed it yesterday. Maybe better than Tyson and Paul. It would be a better fight. That Tyson-Paul fight was a big letdown. Big letdown. All right, let's go over some of the events for next week, guys. Next week's going to be a big one. I don't know if you guys knew this or not. Next week, though, guess what's coming on Wednesday? The man, the myth, the legend, Jerome Powell will be out. That's right, Mr. JP. The man himself will be out here speaking. They're going to ask him about Trump and wanting to do the rate cuts and et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be a fun one for good old JP. Trump has been hitting him hard. Don't know if you guys caught last night's video. Calls him a numbskull, wants him to cut interest rates by a full point. And actually talked about lowering them by 2 full points. It was kind of funny. He said it would save the U.S. $600 billion a year. We can't get him to do it. Zuck has been MMA training for about 3 years now, almost daily, Tangi says. Yeah, I know he rolls quite often, from what I've seen. I don't know if he's been keeping up with it, but... Autumn said I would still totally fight Zuck. Autumn's gonna kick Zuck's ass. I like it. Just because he trains doesn't make him good. We gotta keep that. You gotta remember that. He could train and still be a huge, uncoordinated, nerdy boy. I doubt it, though. I see Elon as more of that. So that's why I said Zuck would kick his ass. I used to think, though, Elon had a better shot, but now that I see Elon more, I don't think it's going to happen. Let's go check Citigroup. The banks actually gapped down really hard today and stayed down. Bank of America, Citigroup all stayed lower. JP Morgan down as well. Go check on Google. Holding up pretty well today, I must say. The SPY itself is looking pretty bad for a lot of these Mag 7 stocks, holding up pretty well. Microsoft turning over added some negative in. They started to pull back a little bit more here recently, but they were actually holding up quite well for a majority of the morning. Nvidia just broke down. Brutal. Everything's breaking down now. SPY's moving kind of flat here at support. I am expecting a support breakdown at some point of the day, though. For sure, for sure. Man, Nvidia. That's brutal for them, though. Keep watching these opportunities to the downside. Unpredictable with his genius brain. You know what Elon would do? Elon would install one of those chips in his head. And the chip would give him, like, Joe Rogan powers or something. It'll give him Joe Rogan's kicking power out of nowhere. That would be hilarious. It's like before the fight, they walk into Elon's locker room and he's like hooked up to a computer and he's like updating his brain. That stuff's wild with the Neuralink. How do you guys feel about Neuralink? I think it's a pretty interesting concept. Tesla right on intraday support, 315.50. This is a crucial level for them. It might end up breaking down a bit. Be careful. Interesting, but dangerous if hacked. Yeah. Dangerous if hacked or it just malfunctions. And I mean, I feel like there could be a plethora of issues there. But yeah, the hacking would be extremely worrisome. I think it's actually so scary that that like 99% of people would not do it. Who knows? Maybe in 100 years it'll be more common. But let's go check out Google here. Still at resistance. Come on, get out of here. I love the way it's coiling, but we need to see a move. Meta starting to fall down fairly hard intraday. Looking at Meta, I would not be surprised to see it break under 688 here and continue down. A little short opportunity. Depending on how you want to set this up, you could go for an all-day long hold, which would be where you could really move your stop loss around towards that high of the day. Maybe target like lows of pre-market, something like that. Pretty interesting setup nonetheless with Meta. Pretty advantageous position in my opinion. You might not be able to catch it all the way down to 680, but what was that, Jason? Israeli military says that they continue to attack targets in Iranian territory. So they're continuing to attack. Okay. Let's see how that affects the SPY. Starting to run down quite well here. Watch your SPXS. Watch your SQQQ. Be ready for some pullbacks today. You were talking about Elon and hooking up his brain. What? Oh, it's a movie. Okay. I've never heard of that one. Steve said, Meta's killing me. I hate Zuck. Meta had a really good move this morning, but it did run into pretty stiff resistance, which is pretty large here. Whenever you're trading, Steve, were you trading a short-term play on Meta? Just be a little bit aware of those resistances up there. I know it's hindsight's 20/20, right? But Keanu Reeves. How we doing, Jason? Hey, Autumn, go do it again. I want to see it hit 680 today. Anybody know what channel the golf is on today? I've been confused. Anybody watching the US Open at all? I have some bets in. on Jordan Spieth, JJ Spawn, and Brooks Koepka. Good old Brooksy. I'm sure after today it's going to look a lot weirder. I bet that the guy winning is probably going to go to 10th place or more. Getting hungry. There you go. It's McDonald's day, Jason. Go grab some McDonald's. Speaking of McDonald's, their stock looks awesome intraday. It's only up 0.5%, but it looks great. MCD 305. That's a huge level there, though. Tesla using 316 as resistance. Watch for it to bounce off of this and back down. That would be a good hold here for Tesla. And bounce right back off and down. This is exactly what you want to see if you're a bear. This actually provides you a good entry point on Tesla today. What it also allows you to do is hold for a very minimal amount of time if it goes against you. And what this does is it allows you to keep your risk reward solid as hell. Like you could just set it up something pretty simply like that. Let's see if it can start to get a bounce going. Pretty weird setup today nonetheless, but kind of what I'm watching for here. SPY's doing that same thing with 598. Tesla, is that for a put? Yeah, puts. Yep. I definitely still lean down on the day for sure. Especially with Nvidia and other stocks like that starting to tank. It's looking pretty rough out there. I still think SPY will be more red as well than green. LMT's looking good, Tiger said. You know, with the conflict picking up, this is actually pretty solid. Honestly. Not bad at all. Hey, Autumn, you want to go hit Zuckerberg one more time? Go hit Zuck one more time so we can break under 687, please. All right, watch list time. Let's do a quick rundown. Crude oil is now up 7%. I didn't realize it was up 7%. I guess it was up even more than that in last night, of course, as it ripped up to 77. Looking at that daily chart, crude has gotten really low in the short term as OPEC Plus started to do a lot with output hikes, but it looks like the conflict said, screw that, and got oil going again for sure. Wow. Great ripperoonie. Let's go back to 2022 whenever the Ukraine war was popping off. Look at how oil ran. Of course, the war's still popping off, but whenever it was new. Now people are just used to it. Kind of silly. Oh, thank you, Autumn. You did it. Thank you. Yes. Got another red candle there. Mr. Under the Sea, why is there a focus on SPY and QQQ? That's generally what most people in the market are watching. Mr. Under the Sea, it's the two big indexes that really move quite a bit, and they're the ones that have the most popular and largest, best stocks in them. So the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 are always on watch, pretty much always, as they're comprised of some of the best companies, and of course, people love to trade these as well. SPY is probably the most traded ticker, like, in the stocked up community, if we had to be honest. Give me 1 second here. I am so confused. Hang on, guys. Throw some tickers out there, though. If you're watching anything, I can go over some things, you know, of course. All right, what happened to Archer? ACHR? Yeah, they gapped down pretty hard into today, didn't they? Pretty brutal gap down. They did an offering, I believe. Let me check. They did an $850 million direct offering, so pretty rough there. Definitely not what you want to see if you're an Archer fan. When companies do offerings, they're really diluting their shares, and it screws over investors in the short term. Now, I have seen companies do these, and they can rise from time to time. We've seen it even in the short term. I think like Oklo or somebody did one, and then they rose, and everybody was like, what the fuck? Why did they go up? And it was because they did it to like pay down debt or something. It was like a good reason for it, not just doing it because they can. A lot of times companies like to do this whenever their stocks are at elevated prices. it allows them to take advantage of that and raise, you know, even more capital whenever they do the offering. Do you think ZOM will end up rising stronger throughout the day? I think it's plausible. I definitely think it's plausible with ZOM for a dip buy or a bounce off support at some point here intraday. I definitely think that could be a good play for the next couple of trading days. If it doesn't play out today, even watch it like in the next week. What happened to Archer? Oh, yeah. Does NVTS come back, Vowel says. NVTS. Navitas. I don't see it coming back today myself. I'm still watching it down. I think it could end up being a pretty good downwards move in the short term. I like how it actually broke under 760 and how it used it as resistance. This looks awesome. I could see it running down even more. Navitas. There is a big support around 7. That would be in play if we do start to get closer to that. $7. NVTS, poor stock, has been a little overbought for a little while. It just got a little overexhausted, I would say. This happens on these weird stocks like this. You know, they will have these periods of pullback. Totally normal. Oklo's coming back. Hey, it is holding up pretty well. Little triple top intraday. Close to 64.50. You could watch for some opportunity at a breakout there if we get some action going. 64.50. Autumn said Zom's not moving much anymore. Yeah, it's slowing down. Autumn, the thing that I'm looking for with Zom is, like, as it's dropping here, whether this be the support bounce or whether it actually run down to support, I'm watching for it to get a bounce, like, where it starts to, like, really get back towards, like, the high of the day. It's in a setup right now where I could totally see this happening, where it gets back up to there, if not even higher. Ryan said it's a buy the dip for next week kind of day. Uh-oh. Man, Kepka's not looking good today. +2. What are your thoughts on Lockheed Martin? I like the defense stocks in the short term, Dexter. I could see them continuing to move well. Looking at the daily, Lockheed started to really rip yesterday. My main thing is that I love this channel that Lockheed's been stuck in. And with the news, I could see it getting up and out of the channel. Who's in the lead? JJ Spawn. JJ Spawn is in the lead. The biggest name that was close to Spawn right now, Hovland, Simwoo Kim, and Sam Burns. I guess Trevor Lawrence as well. Lawrence, whoever that is. Spieth. Oh, I just saw him, Ryan. I have a bet in on Spieth. He's 5 over. He's doing terrible. He was actually in 10th place after yesterday, but man, today he's blowing it up. Palantir coming back alive, 1.7%. Nice action back. Really glad to see that. Hell yeah, great candles there. What do you think about OXY, Mr. Under the Sea said? OXY, Oxy? Same thing as Zom, in my opinion. The setup's a bit weirder. I'm glad to see it get up into this channel again, which is nice. If it uses 45 as support, that would be awesome in the short term, like it has in the past. Seen some great moves within this range, all the way back up to like 49.30 to 50. So there has been some good moves there. Ah, that's right. Trevor Lawrence, the QB. Let's see who this is. There might be another Trevor Lawrence. I'll tell you his real name. His name is Thriston Lawrence. Thriston. He's from like South Africa or something. Yeah, he is from South Africa. What do you think about Oxy? Yeah, Oxy obviously is a fun stock to play whenever it's trending. Right now it's in play with this oil news, so. The big thing is, do you think that this is going to develop into a larger situation with Iran? Or do you think that this is just going to fizzle out and just be kind of like a one-off type thing? If you think that this is going to be something that really starts to materialize, that's where I would take a chance on the oil stocks, really. You really need this news to keep materializing with it. Wow, the SPY made a good comeback here. Right back up to resistance, actually, 599. See if it can get back through there now. Pretty good and quick recovery, which is nice. China approved some new U.S. pork poultry plants to export eligible products produced on or after June 12th. That's pretty nice. China news. China approves some pork. Sounds pretty good. Came out a few minutes ago, but not totally sure the market's really running on that specifically. Let's see the volume. Volume didn't really pick up all that much, so I'm not like thinking that the news really impacted that much. Ryan says he thinks it'll be over after the weekend. That could be the case. I wouldn't be surprised. Iran better come to the table. They are all talk, no action. That's hilarious. CRCL 116, very nice action, up 9% this morning. I love the way that this one's recovering here. Looking at the daily, you know, they've been wild since they IPO'd, but they've generally held up pretty well. I gotta give it to them. They're holding their ground, and this 104, 103.30 support is just straight up beautiful here. ORCL and CRCL are both on fire. That's kind of funny. Apple dying, no innovation. I think that their innovation sucks, personally. I think that Apple's innovation is terrible. Like, I like them as a company, don't get me wrong. I like their phones, don't get me wrong there either. They make good phones, you know, their phones are solid. But does anything that they do at all make me want to go out and buy a new one? No, not one thing. Zero. They need something to really spark people's interest here, like something groundbreaking with an iPhone. I don't know what they can do, but there can be some stuff that I think that could be a lot better for them. Obviously, design aspect is a big deal. Something with design could be a bit better. Do you guys have any ideas? We'll email them to Tim Cook. I'm kidding. It does suck to see him down this much, though. Down under 200. Watching for 196 coming up. If they end up breaking under that today, it's going to get nasty. Nasty. John said the Mag 7's pumping besides Apple. I know, right? It actually had pretty good setups across the board. I'm not going to say pumping, but at least in the ultra short term, pretty good pops back. Earlier this morning, everything looked like it was up and Apple was the only thing down. Yeah, their Worldwide Developers Conference just flopped a bit this week. Not any big announcements that people were looking for. They made some AI updates and stuff, but I think traders were looking for a lot more there. Looking at Apple stock, it's stuck. It's in a pretty big range right now where it's just back and forth, back and forth. I am watching for a potential breakdown towards like 180 over the next couple weeks. Jill said never had an iPhone. Always seemed like they had weak screens and batteries. Really? I will say, I switched from Samsung to iPhone in like 2021, 2020, something around there. 2020, I think you could say. And in 2020, I got the iPhone X. And I thought that it was pretty badass, actually. I really liked the Switch, and I still like the Switch here, but I think that they're both awesome phones. They both do the job, really. Same, but different. That's kind of what I feel there. I can't ever switch from Apple now, though, because all my shit is stuck in the Apple cloud. If I would have stayed with Google, I'd be stuck with Google now as well. I got lucky that in the busy time of my life, I guess I used Apple. Whenever all I did was just play games on my phone, I loved the Samsung, though. Like in high school and things like that, I loved the Samsung phones. Way more. As I got older, though, I literally only use the phone now for info. Nothing beats a Pixel? Oh, no. Oh, Yusus. Gross. Jeanette's still rocking an iPhone XS. That's hilarious, Jeanette. That's actually the one that I had. That was my very first iPhone. That's funny. I traded it in a little while ago and got like a $250 credit. It was pretty sick. Maybe they got their shit together. Always seemed like people I knew with iPhones always cracked their screens eventually. That's funny. I always get those glass screen protectors. I haven't cracked a screen in years. The new Tesla Pi phones will interface/use Apple environment. Check it out, August 2025. IMOL, I do not think that that's real. Tesla Pi phones? I think we would have heard about that a lot more. Yeah, rumors. Big rumors there, but no. I've been hearing rumors about a Tesla phone for like 3 years. Those of you that have watched the channel for a while probably know that, actually. Chill said, why can't Elon name anything good? I know, right? You could literally call it the X phone. That sounds pretty sick. The X. I don't know what. Maybe that's a bad one too. Always in 5 years? Yeah. Elon's timeline is a long way. Look how long it took him to get those stupid trucks going. QQQ 529.30 resistance coming up. Right back to resistance. Same with the SPY. SPY's pushing back towards 600. All right, this is where it's going to get fun on the SPY, guys. Watch for a potential lower high to form somewhere. Watch for a lower high somewhere. Maybe up around 600 would be a perfect spot. Little 600 rejection for another sell-off into oblivion. I do think that there's a good potential that the SPY still sells off today as we go forwards. So just keep that in mind. Or the Grok phone. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad name. Wouldn't be a bad name at all. How about we go check in on Intel today? Popping back slightly. Looking at the daily. They're moving down towards support. Definitely going to be a big one here as support comes up again on them. They've been stuck down here for so long. I am Grok, but the liquid glass. That's funny. That GIF in the Discord that somebody put in there of the girl saying, "Get in, loser, we're going shopping." That has me cracking up. Jay Palma, that's funny. I can't remember what I did and didn't do yet. That's funny, Tangy. You're not Jay Palma, are you? Your comment has me thinking weird things now. How high can Oracle go, ORCL? Oh, okay, okay. Oracle up to 212. I mean, it's at all-time highs right now. It's in no man's land. Really tough to say where it could slow down. I personally think that it's getting closer to the end of its run today, if I had to guess myself. This is getting pretty overextended in my eyes. We can even, like, measure... Ow! We could really, like, measure this move. Damn it. I don't know what I did. Pulled my ankle sitting in the chair. How do you even do that? Oracle, though. We can, like, measure the box here. We can clone it, put it on top. And you can usually identify, like, this middle range and identify the top end and the bottom end and kind of measure those. And once it starts to break above, like, the second measure, that's where I start to really, like, think that we're getting into overextended territory. So it won't always look like this, but in this case, I really like looking at it this way, is that, like, it's definitely overextended. You know, we had this great move above this for a breakout, and it was, like, better than even the leg up into that. So that, to me, shows that it's definitely overbought. But as far as right now, it doesn't have any signs of necessarily slowing up a ton yet. I guess, like, 4 down candles is more than some of these other times, but if it starts to break under 210.40 here, I would definitely start to be worried about a pullback. You couldn't breathe, Tangi said? That's funny. Looks like it is going to break down, though, now. Definitely starting to shift a bit more than it has all day, so that's going to be a sign. I think it's about done. I pulled your ankle sitting. I didn't pull it. I don't know what happened. It almost was like a vein hit or something on it, Ryan. So weird. Maybe a pressure point. QQQ up to around 530. Resistance. Watch for a... Yeah. Watch for another pullback starting to ensue here. Same with the SPY as it gets towards 600. I am not leaning for a breakout, but it's possible. If we start to really rip above that high of the day, I'll definitely adapt, but we gotta see it happen here. What are your thoughts on Lilly? LLY, Dexter said. Eli Lilly, they've been really good this year. Looking at them overall, I guess I was thinking about them more of at the beginning of 25. Looking at them in the short term, they are ripping off, popping off, though, really well off this $700-ish support. I love the setup here on LLY. I could see it coming up to fill this gap over the next few weeks, up to around like 880 to 900. Pretty solid. Eli Lilly. I also noticed that they're in like a weird downtrend here. And I usually like these types of downtrends like this because they usually result in a nice bullish run, almost like a bull flag. Does that make sense? Almost seems like a bull flag going on the daily chart. But like a very long-term one. Like you have to really expand your mind to see this one. But let me go to Zom here. No problem, Dexter. Appreciate the comment. Go check on B. Barrick Gold. Barrick Mining, I guess we should say. 1.96%. Awesome. Go check Oracle, which has been hot today. ORCL pulling back down. No, we were looking at it a few minutes ago. Definitely does seem like it's getting to the point where we could see more of a pullback come in. I can see it playing out a lot more like this. CRWV's ripping. CoreWeave getting some action back. Let's go check ASTS as well. AST Space Mobile, one of the favorites here. No, not getting as good of a comeback, but is trying to bounce. CoreWeave, though, 149.50 coming up. 150 is on the horizon again, right where this stock slowed down yesterday and really failed to break out. $150. As it approaches there, have some caution. Have a little caution there. Let's go check Northrop. NOC. Great move, 3.22%. Northrop Grumman. Double top up the 524 resistance overhead. Looks extremely solid. Happy National Golf Cart Day. Golf Cart Day. Is that a US Open reference? Tesla is actually coming back quite well, guys. It really held 315, pushing the high of the day. The way that it's looking right now, I wouldn't be surprised if the high of the day broke. Sheesh. The whole Mag 7 came back. Google came roaring back. Apple's even roaring back to life. Can you believe it? Apple. Amazon's nice. SPY is almost back to 600. Seeing a big shift here. The ultra short term. Ever since that China news, let me go see if there's anything else. Trump said Iran officials are calling me to discuss the situation 14 minutes ago. That's probably a big deal there. Let's go, Tesla 320. Big resistance coming up. See if it holds or if it gets a breakout going. What do you guys think? Tesla's gonna rip through, Ryan says. I hope so. I just want to see some good action. Get some action going. QQQ, slowing up a little bit. It's right at resistance as well. Same with the SPY, getting close to 600. See if we can really get a run going here or not. If we start to see everything turn over again, this might be the icing on the cake the last time SPY touches 600 here today. See some better action come in. Just want to go back to the SPY really quickly, go to a daily chart and take all the drawings off really fast. Or, you know what, we'll just go to SPX because it's the same thing. Looking at the S&P 500 right now, it's getting so close to this all-time high, up around, well, on the SPY, it's close to 610 to 613. As we start to see the SPY get closer and closer to that, I do think that there will be some reaction there. You know, whether it just be a couple days of rejection or whether it be a couple weeks, I expect some reaction there. So just watch out as it gets up towards 610. That's going to be a very big level on the SPY if it does get there. And that's where I would think that this whole range up here could be a good double top scenario. Oracle's breaking down. It's about time. That's funny. Yep. That's a big level. 210.40 given out. Yep. Watch it back down. I can see it coming back down a little bit. How's oil doing with that positive news of Iran call? Ooh, oil fell on that news. Oil's falling a little bit. All right, all right. Netanyahu says he expects Iran will attack Israel. He says, I plan to speak to Iranian people directly. What? Maybe it's heating up again. All right, SPY, almost to 600. Let's see. $600, almost back in play. All right, $600. SPY is right about there. Check on NVIDIA, ripping up through 142.60. Pretty decent resistance coming up here. 142.65. Let's see if it can get a nice extension. It'll definitely help the SPY if that's the case. Let's turn on the Mag 7 setup as SPY gets there. Y'all stay nimble, stay cool, get the bag. Tangy Man's gotta run. Sounds good, Tangy. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining up today, man. As always, thoughts on AAL with oil prices moving. Tesla new daily high, Ryan said. Man, Tesla looking great up to 320. Hell yeah, resistance coming up. SPY at 600. As Tesla touches 320, this is going to be a crucial area. SPY is essentially on it now. Touched it. Check Palantir here a little bit. Yeah, I don't love this double top at 139 on Palantir. Definitely possible for it to keep breaking out here today, but I just don't love the prospect of it here. Would you buy the dip on APLD now? Or wait, if so, what are your levels? Let's see, TJ, APLD, pulling back. Would I buy now? Ooh, this is the first good support coming up around like $11 to $11.50 where it bounced. Not terrible support. I would wait for $11 though. I would try to have as much patience as possible on APLD. Personally, I would not be surprised if APLD pulled back a lot more. Like, let's say down towards, like, 8, even. Now, that's obviously over the next, like, few weeks, probably. But, again, that would not be that surprising of a drop. And it could definitely happen. I'll be watching close, though, for this $11 support bounce. I do think that there could be an opportunity off of 11. Obviously, you know, I just like to look at a lot of different scenarios, though. Like to keep you thinking so that, you know, as it starts to play out, you can maybe have an idea on where to exit, etc. Carvana was your best trade of the year. Awesome, Iceberg. I'm glad to hear that. That's great. Think it'll keep going down. Yeah, I can see it testing this 293 support coming up here. It is trying to bounce off of 300 though, but yeah, I think it could keep going down. Looks pretty good to me. Even intraday, I like the way it's setting up. I could see more downside action. Sounds good. I'll try to be patient. There we go, TJ. Yeah, just try to be a little patient with APLD. You know, it's one of those crazier stocks that can definitely have some wild PA. Not very consistent. All right, all right. We're probably going to call the stream there. Appreciate you guys joining up today, though, sticking with us all week. It's Bookmap time. Mason's traveling this week, so it's been a little tough on the lives today. AIRO, my gosh. I don't even remember this one, Skanda, but it looks great. AIRO, did it like just IPO? This is weird. My data's not even correct on this one. Ah, it is today. That's what I thought. Okay. Sounds good, sounds good. Yeah, we'll have to wait for this one. Let's see. It should unhalt in a minute, right? Nah. It's probably showing the pre-IPO. Oh, no, it did have a halt. Okay. I thought it did. I thought it would have been unhalted by now, but they're halting it a bit longer than 5 minutes. You got 10 shares assigned at $10 from RH? Nice. That's pretty good, ACOP. Everyone YOLO when it gets unhalted, Sloshy said. Stop it, Sloshy. You're gonna tempt some people into actually doing it. That's hilarious, though. All right, guys. We're going to call it there. Have a great weekend. Seriously, get out there. Have a great time. Get nice and rested up for next week. It's going to be a big week with the man, the myth, the legend, Jerome Powell, coming out on Wednesday with the FOMC interest rate decision. Don't forget, we do have earnings next week as well. Now, the earnings lineup is definitely slowing down, but this is what we got. Kroger, you can bet on the, or you can trade the Corn Ferry Tour. Kind of funny. Lazy Boy. Pet Meds, Lennar. Pretty funny. All right. Does Numbskull keep his job Wednesday? I hope so. I'm curious to see what he says. I know that the reporters are going to ask him about it, and Powell's going to try to dodge him, but he needs to really not dodge it. All right, SPY breaking $600, guys. Wow, SPY just got through $600. Did not reject this time. SPY breaking through 600. Whoa. $600 breakout. All right. We'll end on that. Nice break there. Gotta love it. Hope to see you guys in the Discord, though. If you're not in there yet, what are you doing? All right, have a great one. See you guys.